an American football fan, 49ers fan. I've been for 40 years. So I'm fitting a 49ers plates around on here. I've marked the centre line, put 2 pilot holes. I'm just looking underneath to see if I can reach, and I don't think I can. So I think this is all going to have to come off. I might be able to risk just riveting it, but it's a bit of a strain on rivets, I think that is. I prefer to not unbolt it. Right, so at the time of filming, I've had the Jeep for about 3 months, just shy of 3 months. When this video comes out, it'll probably be quite a gap from the last one because I'm saving up to have the cam belt done. Now, when I first purchased the car, the guy who sold it me, a small dealer, told me the cam belt had been done. So I've been looking for evidence of that in the service record, and this led to some confusion. So I've got service book here, owner's handbook, little wallet. I've cut these pages out of the service history, and I shall reveal why in a minute. There's no evidence at all of the cam belt being done. These just all services, apparently, and oil and filter changes. What initially confused me was its last service in the book is dated 1st of August 2024, 57,000 miles. So I got the car in March 2025, which is for what, 7 months later, and it's done a further 27,000 miles apparently in 7 months. This is what set the alarm bells going with me. I thought that's probably incorrect, so I knew there was something wrong somewhere. It's only the last few days when I've got this service history out again and had a good look at it that things have become obvious what's happened. By coincidence, it appears the first owner of this car was from Telford. The first history of this car, whatever this car's history comes from, that was in the book, was also from Telford, by coincidence. At some point, a dealer that sold my car on sold it on with the incorrect service history, but strangely some of this paperwork is correct, including this one, correct registration. I shouldn't show the guy's name, but he's from Telford, service at Stoneacres, the mileage 34077, and it says, where does it say, carried out 3rd service. Seeing that there? That mileage, that 34077, does not correspond with any service on here at all. This is a bit strange. It's been serviced at 30, this vehicle has been serviced at 31 and then again at 33, so it's only another 3,000 miles in a year. But this doesn't actually apply to my vehicle. And what makes this clear, apart from this Stoneacre receipt, is... Right, so I've got 2 phones on the go here, one to film and my new phone to show the final damning evidence. This is the Check Car Details app on the phone, which is very handy. I use it all the time when I was buying this car. So I put my own registration in. I've put a private plate on, which is why it doesn't correspond with the registration. And here is the full MOT history. So let's just get one from December 2023. According to this service history from the book, in 2024, August 2024, the mileage were 57,000. August 23, 48,000. But this passed its MOT, according to DVLA records, 26th of the 12th, 2023, and the mileage was already at 68,759. And this one from 2024 shows it only at 57, so it is clearly wrong. Everything on this looks to be right. It all corresponds. I've not really had a good look at the early ones to see about its first MOT. Let's have a look at this. So I've already looked at where it passed, where it's changed hands. So 13, 12, 19. So we've got an AA vehicle inspection from when the vehicle was purchased by its second owner. Dates from January 2019, correct registration. The mileage is shown at, if I can find it. So it's had this AA inspection in Swansea. The mileage was 36,803. So yeah, that corresponds properly with this. So 35,689 at passing its first MOT. Then it's been sold on to this guy, 36,803. So that's that is, this mileage is correct on here. All this stuff is correct, which you would expect it to be, because it's from DVLA. So I know I can trust that. That's right. This actual loose paperwork is correct. This actual service history is wrong, which is why I cut it out of the book. So I'm going to try to go to Stratstone's and see if I can purchase service history data. Probably I won't be able to, but it'd be nice to have some genuine service history if I could. I'm actually saving up to have the cam belt done. There's this equipment that I haven't got. I wouldn't take that job on myself in any case, probably. But I know, I think there's a pulley needs heating up to get the cam belt off, and I haven't got that sort of gear. So once it's taken into Pete Jeeps to get that done, I'll get him to service it at the same time, save me a job. So that's going to be done in a couple of weeks. But yes, I've had to save up to get that done. Yeah, so the car's been serviced, had its cam belt done. I'd normally do the servicing myself, but since the under tray has to come off to do the cam belt, I thought you might as well do it yourself and save me a problem. So it's back in where he had the sensor done. I'm just going to pick it up. Yeah, so the guy that sold me this, a dealer, told me it had the cam belt done when I bought it. I couldn't prove anything with the service history. There were no, obviously some of the service history were wrong. There were no evidence of it having a cam belt change. So the guy at Pete Jeep has just told me this is definitely his first cam belt change, looking at the cam belt that's come off. So it's changed the belt, changed pulley, tensioner, put an auxiliary belt on and serviced it. So that'll do me. Okay, I've got it jacked up a little bit. Just running up onto the curb at this side. And now, I need to use Renegade underneath to protect it. Okay, it's looking a lot better under here. It's not a long job, especially when you have the nozzle set properly on the bottle, which I didn't initially. So you get it set properly, it comes out in a nice jet. It's a misty jet instead of a big, thick, straight squirt. So it's a lot better now. Let's get a bit more. I just realised I've just been squirting a plastic cover, which is a bit sickening waste. But anyway, get one metal I can reach. It's actually very well covered up under here. I did pretty much dive straight under here and just start spraying without looking. I didn't realise quite so much were covered with plastic. There's loads of plastic under here that I didn't know were there. So you can't actually get that much bare metal at all, not really. You can at the back end here. Not so much sort of midships and down under obviously down on the engine. But I've got all suspension arms. Just basically everything I could reach. So That's going to have to do. I'm not taking covers off where I've got such limited space to work. It's just, I just can't be bothered with doing it. If I ever get a pit to work under or a lift, then I'll take them off and treat them. But not trying to work under here, it's just too much, it's too cramped. Right, so back to this number plate surround that I was intending putting here. This surround is a bit fussy for this car. It probably isn't going to work, so I've changed my mind about this a few times. This was one of my first ideas, which it's a suit a van better, it don't really suit a car. I'm going to be doing another camper van conversion eventually, so that can wait and save. I also got this, which is actually car's registration on a replica California plate, but it just doesn't go with that. It just don't suit it at all. So that's another one out that window. It's worked out quite expensive, obviously this has. So I've also got this. This doesn't go ideally with that. So I've got a plain black surround on the way for this. And that's what I'm intending fitting, like that, with the black surround. With all that in mind, I decided to have this off here temporarily and make a couple of access holes so that I could change this plate surround if I needed to, as regularly as I needed to, as many times as I want to make my mind up. So that's what I'm on with now. Just got to push these squares out and then put that, well, I can put whatever I'm going to put on here. Okay, so this is later the same day. So what I might have to do is just cut these back a little bit so I can get my finger down a bit and get a washer on the back of this bolt here. These two. But I can't get my finger down enough there, so I'm going to have to cut these back to the edge a little bit more. I've got one fastened. Difficult, but it's getting a washer in. I find I need to put, oh, that's staying tight. So, a bit of tape on the back of that. And then put a nut in. That's all done, back together. I actually managed to get this open without the battery on today for the first time. It's awkward. It tells you in handbook to do it with a screwdriver. There's no chance. You need an Allen key. Get it in this little slot there and just hit it to that side. Okay, I've got side steps to fit finally. This is about a month after last bit of film at least. And instructions are clear as mud. So I figured it out eventually. One of the problems with these instructions is the designs in the photograph don't actually correspond with the shape of these, not with any of them. They're actually all different. They must have changed the design at some point because they don't correspond with any of them. So it's hard to identify what goes where. I think this is front left. Well, that's what I'm working on at the moment anyway. So I'm loath to do this before I've definitely identified which part is which, but it's looking like if this is not removed entirely, that this at least will want cutting at this point across here to get to that thing and fit flat, because that's the other fastening point I believe, but I just got to make absolutely certain it's definitely not that. It's very confusing. Okay, so I was initially thinking that all this plastic panel would have to come off, but I can get away with cutting that little bit off, drilling a hole in this bit because it's got access there, and the rest of it can stay on. I've got to do something similar at the front. Okay, finally we're getting somewhere. It's first bracket in. Drill the hole in this to access that. Still got to fasten that up there. Got to cut this off here. And cut this off here. That's looking reasonably neat. That's both brackets on. Everything fastened up on the sill. And now before it goes dark, I'm just hoping to nip this first step on. Okay, so the fitting kit is for the Jeep Renegade, but the actual step is generic. And it's not quite fitting properly at the bike, so I'm just going to have to cut a bit out this plastic bit right at the back here, which is annoying because I'm going to have to cut the actual screw thread a bit out as well. That's the first one fitted before it's got too dark. I wasn't sure about the steps when I actually bought them, as to whether they'd suit the car or not, but now I fitted them, I think they look pretty good. Okay, so it's the morning after. Admittedly, I'd already got tools ready and the car already put up on these little wooden ramps last night, but I'm really buying on with this much quicker. Less than an hour's work, and I've already got the bike bracket in and everything fastened back up. So I've just got the front one to do now. Just line it up with the front one. I can find the things easy. That's the mounting point there. Just a little bit concerned that these mounting brackets, they're not like other Jeeps I've had. It's just bent over sheet metal, that's all it is. So in my opinion, they're not strong enough to support side steps. I mean, you're up at steps, but not for actually standing on. So I'll not be doing a lot of standing on, I don't think. The most awkward part of the job in this is getting these bits into the metal frame. You have to hold this little handle and kind of twist it in position, and then use a screwdriver just to. I found there's a hole on each. Just get the screwdriver in the hole, just twist it round so that these drops start dropping through the holes in the frame. Anyway, it's definitely the most difficult bit in my opinion. Got that fastened there, so just these two nuts to fasten, and we're in business. Cross threaded. I think that thread's a bit dodgy. Rolled them. So 4.5 hours yesterday, roughly, maybe a bit more, and less than an hour and a half this morning to get this side done. I'm really pleased with the way they look. The only thing is now I'm going to do externally, or fit a pair of flush mounting roof bars across. They fit absolutely flush to the height of these, and also a skid pan under the back of there, and that'll be it externally. Internally, in the UK it's difficult to get all the limited model Renegades, so finding the leather seats is really difficult. So I'm going to try to fit a pair of Cherokee limited leather seats, and I'll probably make a standalone episode for that. But basically, as far as I'm concerned, it's really finished.